much shade. Let's see if I can find a spot where I'm actually getting some sun. Okay, here we go. That's a little bit better. It's kind of crooked here. Let's make a little adjustment. All right. Still kind of dark, but we'll go with it. So I was sitting on my porch. I'm supposed to be editing. I'm lucky enough that I edit from home. And that's my business, my job, my business. I do editing. I do maintain websites for some cities and have some clients even in Georgia. So I'm lucky. I'm lucky. I'm sitting there, took a break. Sometimes I go out and sit on my porch, get away from the computer for a while. I think, okay, let's see. Okay, sorry about that. I'm trying to get my face where you can see me. Okay, sun is playing havoc with me. But anyway, I'm a little in shadow, but that's okay. But back to the point. I'm sitting there. I said, okay, let me go in the house and make some coffee so I can get back to work. I have a lot of projects to work on. I'm actually editing a short film for one of my clients, and I started yesterday and supposed to be working on it right now. But I got this email. And I had to come on here and address it because it's one of those emails that it's weird. It's weird what people think. And I love to get the emails, so keep sending them. I answer all my emails. I sometimes even do what I'm doing now. I get on and make a comment towards a specific email. So here's the email. Let's see, the guy said, where is it? Oh, no offense, but this does look like AI. Talking about one of the short videos I made. Now, I make a lot of shorts. If you go to my channel, you'll see I make a lot of comedy, a lot of humorous shorts, and I've been using AI a lot. And when I read that, I had to laugh because it was really funny. It was really funny. What I said to him was I commented back. I said, none taken. Thanks for watching. And that was the first thing that popped into my mind. It's so funny. I started thinking, I said, okay, you know what I need to do? I need to generate a short list of why I use artificial intelligence video here on YouTube. And I thought we were past that. I thought we were well past that. But last few days, I've been getting, more emails of people, saying, this is AI. And I don't understand. Honestly, I tell you the truth, I really don't understand why they think they need to point out to me what medium I'm working in. I have a big background. I have a big background in content creation, even before the internet, if you can believe that. That's how old I am. I was a painter. I painted pictures. I worked in oils. I worked in watercolors. I worked in, tempera. I even worked in charcoals. I worked in pencil. I worked in colored pencil. I used all different types of tools to create my art. And I don't know what it is. I think it's a lot of young people too, who haven't worked or who haven't created content in any other field and don't know that there are multiple ways to create art. It's just art. It's just a pretty picture that moves. So what I did was I generated myself, let me see, I kept my list here. I generated myself a nice little list so I can make sure I hit all the points. Let's see, where's my list? That's not it, that's not it, that's not it. That's not it, that's not it. Where is my list? Let's see. I made myself a little list because I wanted to make sure I got all the points that I wanted to talk about why I use AI. Here's the first one. Move fast, test ideas, and get the project done. I spent so much of my life as a writer. I'm an actor, but I also write and I shoot and edit. Primarily, I'm an actor, but I spent so much of my life as an actor, as a writer, as a filmmaker, waiting to create something, planning, writing, and then sitting around waiting until the right day to shoot, waiting until I found the cast, and not because I was lazy or dragging my feet, it was just because that's part of the process. The reason I use AI is because if I come up with an idea, like I could have made this into an AI video if I wanted, instead of coming out here doing it myself. But I really wanted to do it myself because it's so much of a release to be able to jump on here. That's the beauty of YouTube, to be able to jump on here and use YouTube to get my ideas out right away. That's what I do with AI. If I have an idea and I want to make something, I don't have to hire, run a casting ad, find an actor or an actress, rehearse with them, decide how much I'm able to pay them, whatever my budget allows. I do it. I don't wait. I do it. So I'm able to move fast and create something. And that's what I love. I mean, I used to work in clay also. I used to make pots. I used to make clay sculptures, small little things. I haven't done anything big and grandiose, but clay would be sitting there, wrapped up in plastic, kept in a cool place in the bottom of my closet until I wanted to use it. And when I took the clay out, I used it and I created what I wanted to create. I created what was in my mind. That's what I do with AI. That's what was the next one I wanted to say. And this is for people, I guess I'm talking to a lot of young people out there. That's the only thing I can think of. That's the only reason I can think that I still get some of these comments. It's funny, I'm not upset about it because I always mark my content on YouTube that it was created with artificial intelligence. I'm not ashamed to use artificial intelligence. I enjoy it. I like it. And it's the same as a tool, the same as my camera, the same as my editing system. I used to edit between, when I started editing, I edited with two decks and an edit controller. And if I wanted to do special effects, I had to have a special effects little dedicated machine between the two decks that went into the edit controller. Or I'm sorry, I got it backwards. The special effects came after the source deck. And so, I don't understand it. I don't understand it. But that's why I wanted to do this video. It's a tool. AI is a tool. I've done tons of videos on my channel. Check out my channel if you have a moment. Watch some of my playlists. I appreciate that. But it is a tool. It is a tool. What's the next one? The audience doesn't care if I use AI. Boom. The audience does not care if I use artificial generated video, artificial generated video to create my little comedy bits in the stream here, in the live stream, in the shorts feed. I'm creating some little bits that are 20 seconds, 15 seconds, 30 seconds. If it's funny, they laugh and they watch it and they share it. And that's what I want. I create shorts that I hope will lead people to my larger content on my channel. And I hope you're watching me right now in the shorts feed and you go to my channel and look at some of my playlists. That's why I create shorts. That's why I use AI. I'm not going to do a full casting session to make a 20-second video or a 15-second video of something that I just thought of at the top of my head and said, hey, that would make a funny video. That's what AI is for. It's a tool to use. Just like when I mentioned I was a painter, I sometimes would paint with watercolors. I sometimes would paint with oils. I sometimes would draw with charcoal. They're just tools to create. That's all it is. I know it's starting to die down here on YouTube a lot, where all the people going nuts and wild about artificial intelligence and being afraid of it, that it's going to take you down. It's going to get rid of all your jobs. It's going to kill everyone. It's dying down, which I'm glad to see, because from the very beginning, I was the guy out there on the soapbox yelling, calm down, calm down. And I'm an actor too. I'm a union actor. I just finished an audition today. That's why my hair is cut and everything. I had to do an audition for a role that I'm trying to get. And I use my cell phone to shoot it on a tripod, like I'm talking to you right now. Tools. That's the new state of auditioning right now. You don't have to drive all the way down to Hollywood, find somewhere to parked in a paid parking lot, walk a mile to get to where the audition is, because there's usually no parking around where the buildings are, where they hold the auditions. Go through the lot, show the security guard your ID, go walk all the way across the lot in the hot sun, and then you're sweating by the time you get to the audition, and then you got to sit in the room and wait in the waiting room for an hour until they can see you. I do a self-tape, and I send it to the casting director, and the casting director looks at it, and if they decide they like me, then they do a video callback, or they call me back to come in person. So, tools. technology, tools. Don't fear it. Come on, come on. All right, what's the next one? Let's see. Right here. I start talking about the next one. Create now, don't wait. If you have an idea and you want to shoot something and you want to create it with AI, go ahead and do it. Post it up there. You don't have to sit around and wait. Find the perfect location. Try to negotiate with whoever owns the location. Get insurance for the location. Get your cast and crew together. You got to feed your cast. You got to feed your crew. And you just want to do a little video that you're going to put up on YouTube that no one's paying you to do. Come on. Be reasonable. Be logical. Use your noggin. And I know the difference. I have projects that I work on with fellow actors, living human actors. And I know the difference between actors and AI. I've directed over 25 feature films, and I've worked with tons of actors over the years on my videos that I've done for clients and the feature films that I've directed. AI can't hold a candle to those actors. I can't talk to the AI the way I talk to actors. You can get an actor to do what you need him or her to do. AI, you got your fingers crossed all the time. I know the difference. AI can to do something quick, disposable, fast, right away. Or something I'm doing now, I'm using AI to test out some ideas I have. I'm in the potential very early stages. I can't talk about it, no details, but I'm in the early stages of directing my next feature film. And I've been trying some of the, I've been using artificial intelligence video to create some of the effects that I want to do in the film. Just testing it out to see how it would look. That was something I was never able to do all the years. Like I said, I've directed films for over 30 years, B movies, direct-to-video movies, and I was never able to test out my effects. I would hire effects people, special effects people, and we would sometimes pay so that we'd have enough resources to do it 2 times if something went wrong. And that was it. The test was live, on camera, camera's rolling, got your fingers crossed, you're praying that it's gonna work. That was your test. And maybe if you had enough money for the budget, you were able to set up and do it again, because sometimes the special effects are only a one-time thing when you're a small independent producer. So AI, I can create an effect and try it, see if it looks like what I want. Show it to special effects people so they can build exactly what I want, not try to get close to it by me explaining it to them. They can see exactly what I want by pre-visualization, using AI for pre-visualization to do what you want, to get the effect you want before you actually go out and pay for it. Okay, well, here's another one. I like to use AI because you can build something fast and put it out there and see if people watch it, see if people like it. If they like it, you make more, you lean into what works. That's what I've been doing with the comedy. That the person who sent me that email saw one of the little comedy pieces that I created, and he liked it enough to take the time to sit down and type me an email. To type me a comment. And I love comments. That helps me, my channel. And I love you guys to comment. I always read all the comments and I respond to every comment I get. I respond to every email I get because I value my audience. And I'm trying to create stuff that you guys like. And by putting out AI, I put out stuff with real people. Go to my channel, look and see. You'll see a lot of live human beings working with me that I collaborate with. Again, I'm an actor. I love working with actors because they can do things that no AI can do. And they bring something to the table that AI can't. AI can only do what you ask it to do. Or it does what it wants to do, and hopefully sometimes what it wants to do is close to what you want, or sometimes it's better than what you want. But it's still a gamble. It's still a gamble. What's the next one? I could test ideas that I otherwise couldn't do because I couldn't afford to do it. I'm not going to spend a lot of money testing an idea, a practical effect, to create a 10-minute, or what am I talking about, 10-minute? A 5-minute YouTube video, or a 30-second YouTube video. AI is a tool that's created to do that. That's what it's for. That's why I use it. That's why I have no shame or no. It's so funny to even say it. I have no hesitation using AI. I have no hesitation shooting on this cell phone when I have a $10,000 camera in the house that I could be shooting on if I wanted. I'm surprised I don't get any emails saying, oh, why don't you shoot that on some of your bigger equipment? Why don't you have a full lighting package out there? Why don't you have a full sound person out there while you're shooting? I grab my cell phone, I grab my sweater, I come out, I'm sitting across the street from my house under a shade tree, and I talk to you and I deliver it through my phone, through the internet, saying you guys can see it. That's the beauty of this. This is new technology. And like I said, the only thing I can think of, it must be young people who have never created anything before. They don't understand the benefits of being able to do what we can do nowadays with the modern technology. I was a teacher. I don't teach much anymore, but I taught filmmaking and editing. And that's one of the first things I stressed to all my students, how they should be happy that they're editing in the age of nonlinear editing, as opposed to, you know, I even did some tests when I first was starting out of actually physically cutting film and using little strips of tape to glue the film back together. That was maddening, but that was the only way that films could be edited. Physical manipulation of the negative. So don't be fearful of technology. Don't be fearful of it. It's weird. It's weird. It really is. And on YouTube, I always want to stay consistent. I always want to keep creating. That's one of the reasons I decided to take a pause, jump out here, and deliver this live video. I told myself a few weeks ago, or even near the beginning of the year, that I was going to try to do at least one live video a week. And I've been falling short of that, honestly. But this really prompted me. This really prompted me when I got that email. And it prompted me from a good way, because it was so funny. It was so humorous that he actually thought that saying I was using AI was a bad thing, was an insult. It's crazy. It really is. Crazy in a funny way. But people will get over it. They will get over it. Just think back to the, and all of you weren't born for this either, the big transition between horse-drawn carriages and automobiles. Oh, you're riding in one of those motorized vehicles? What about your horse? What about your carriage? What about your covered wagon? It's just as stupid as that. It's just as funny as that. It's just as humorous as that, you know? So, and the last one is, what's the last one? AI is not replacing people. If any of you have worked with AI, if any of you have tried to get a prompt or try to get AI to do something, you'll realize it's not ready to replace us. Now, I'm not saying it never will. When they get to the point where they can create an AI character that can sit out here and stumble and ramble the way I'm doing right now and thinking off the top of its head, but it still won't do that, because it will know exactly what it wants to say, and it will say it without any of the extra words that me as a human being uses. It won't bring in any random stories as they're talking. I know a lot of you probably out there saying, good, I wish that you were more AI so you wouldn't ramble so much, but I enjoy it. And a lot of people like my style of just getting out here and talking like I'm sitting in the bar talking to you. That's what I enjoy about YouTube. That's why I get on here and I do these live videos, because it's like I'm talking to a friend in a bar, in a restaurant, in a nightclub, in a coffee shop. You just talk. You don't have to plan out everything. Everything doesn't have to be scripted. Who cares if you talk about 10 different topics? What does it matter? What does it matter? It doesn't. It doesn't. So I thank the gentleman who wrote me that email, and he apologized in advance. And the thing of it is, was funny because he couldn't tell. Go look at some of the shorts I've done, and then take the lead from those shorts and follow the link and look at some of my playlists. I need you guys to help me build up my watch hours. I just recently lost a lot of watch hours based on how YouTube counts watch hours. It's only for a 365-day period. So when you move out of that period, the ones behind, your watch hours behind, drop off. Now I knew it, but I didn't notice it until it was a big hit to my watch hours. So go watch some of my stuff, watch some of my playlists. I've got literally got tons of videos on there for you guys to watch. And they're not all educational, a lot of humor. Most of my stuff is humor. So that's what I want to create here. That's what I'm planning to continue to create. And again, I'm going to be using AI. I'm going to be using real actors. I'm going to be using animation. I'm going to be using graphic novel style images. I've used puppets. I want to do some more of that too. I like that. I have a video where I talk about how puppets are kind of like the old version of AI, where you manipulate them. You put the words in their mouth, or ventriloquists. You know, it's all methods of entertaining and creating content. So I'm going to leave you with that. Glad to be able to jump on here. And again, I'm going to try my best to do at least one live video. And what I really like now too, with YouTube, I'm shooting this horizontally. So what's going to happen is right now I'm hopefully, I think I have that setting checked, and hopefully I'm showing up in your live feed right now so you can look at it. And if you are look at it, go check out my channel, James Tucker. You'll see the links right down here somewhere in the bottom. And go check out some of my content, look at some of my playlists. If you like what you see, share it. I appreciate that. Every little bit helps. But no, I am not at all. I'm not at all, not one little scintilla, as they say, ashamed to use artificial intelligence video. And I never will be. And I can't see how anyone is. It's a tool. It's a tool. All right. I won't keep going because I feel like going on, but I'll try to come back again either later this week or definitely next week and do another live video with you. But I really love that email. It really got me off my butt, and I got me out here to do this. All right, you have a good day. I'll see you in the next one.